Hi class, I'm sure you're tired of hearing from me in these videos this week. Just a reminder, if these videos are way too long for you, and I understand that, sometimes I can talk pretty slow. If you go to settings, you can actually turn up the playback speed to make me talk faster. So instead of watching it on a normal speed, you can make it 1.5. You'll still be able to hear what I'm saying and see the PowerPoint, but you'll get through it a little bit faster as fast as you want to do it. Sometimes that's beneficial. That way you can still see the PowerPoint. But this PowerPoint that I'm going through this week is going to be pretty quick. So just hang on, and then we'll be done shortly. And you can get started on your assignment. So in class, I would ask how many people in the class have experienced the death of a family member or a friend. Then people would then share, like if they lost a friend, if they lost a family member, why they lost them, how that made them feel in that situation, and things like that. 9 times out of 10, somebody has experienced death of a family member or a friend in one way or another. So I just want you to think about this hypothetically. The person who cares for you, whether that be your parent, your grandparent, your foster family, etc., whoever cares for you, they end up passing away. There are going to be 3 options, and in which option would you react to the loss? Number 1, would you probably not be able to go to school for the rest of the week and weeks to come? Would you probably take a couple of days off of school but then come back and deal with it? Or would you not need any time off? You could go on with your daily activities as usual. So you would think 1, 2, or 3. I would probably be like 1 to 2. I'd probably be in the middle. And then I would have you share, why do you think option 1? Why do you think option 2? Why do you think option 3? And then you can hear what your classmates have to say. People that can't go to school for the rest of the week and weeks to come, it's because they're grieving really hard. They aren't expecting the loss, and it hurts really bad, and they can't seem to get over it. Option 2, they do take time to grieve. However, they come back and they continue on with their life. And then option 3, they wouldn't need any time off work. They could just go on with their activities. A lot of times, this just has to deal with the way that they grieve, but it also depends on the relationship they have. If they're not very close with their parent, grandparent, foster family, or whatever, or maybe they're raised by their grandparent, they knew their grandparent was getting old, they would have a different reaction based on that. The biggest thing is everyone deals with the grief and loss of a loved one in a different way, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. I do want to talk about the difference between loss versus grief. Loss basically means you're losing someone or something. Grief is that sorrow that you feel after losing someone. So this is especially caused when someone passes away. So how can you cope with loss? If you lose someone that you care about, you should seek out caring people who understand your feelings. That's why a lot of times you'll talk to other people that lost the same person. It's important to express your feelings. Talking about their loss helps. Make sure that you're taking care of your health. It's very easy to stop eating correctly or not sleeping enough because you're grieving. However, it is important that you take care of your health in those ways, as well as not getting dependent on drugs. A lot of people will turn to alcohol or other drugs to kind of numb the pain, and that's not an effective coping mechanism. Accept that life is for the living. Don't dwell in the past. Kind of think, yeah, they're in a better place now, whatever you believe. If you have any major life changes, if possible, try to postpone those because you're going to have a lot of emotional stress during this time. Be patient. It can be really stressful because you don't understand why you're feeling the feelings you feel. And then if it becomes to be too much to bear and you feel like you're not getting over the loss, you should seek outside help like grief counseling and things like that. This is how you can help others who are grieving. So maybe we didn't experience it, but someone we cared about did. It's very similar to what we just went through. Share the sorrow, allow them and encourage them to talk about their feelings, share memories that they had with that person. Don't offer false comfort like it was for the best. You'll get over it with time. Whenever someone is going through a rough time, it's a lot better to listen than to talk. And that goes for any situation, not just loss, like any situation. If they're venting to you, you should be listening and not speaking. Offering practical help is a must. A lot of times when people are going through grief and things like that, they will offer to do things for the person just to kind of get those things off their plate. For example, people will do like a meal train where they prepare meals for them for the week so they don't have to worry about making dinner, things like that. Next one, be patient. It can take time, and the length of time is different for everyone. So it can be really frustrating when you grieve for a week and your friend grieves for 2 months or however long. To be patient with them. You're like, you should be over it by now. But everyone reacts differently. And if you notice that their pain is becoming too much and it seems like it's getting out of control, encourage them to get that professional help when necessary. So when we lose someone, we all have a similar process that we go through. It is at different time variables, but we're going to hit each one of these stages throughout the process. I like to use the acronym DABDA to help you remember this. You can see this is a dabbing, DABDA. That is to help you remember this acronym. The first one is denial. The person passes away and you're in denial. You can't believe it's true. It's that moment of shock. This is a defense mechanism and it typically doesn't last that long. Basically, you're like, no, like this can't be true. That's denial. Then we have anger. So you lose someone, you're like, no, this can't be true. And then you get mad. You're like, oh, why did this happen? I don't understand. So why would someone feel angry after losing someone? Maybe they were mad that they were left behind. Maybe they're mad at themselves. Maybe they feel like they could have done more, or maybe they're just mad at the emptiness that they're feeling. So D, denial. A, anger. Da, we're at da. The next one is bargaining. This is when you're making promises or deals. This is typically with a higher power. So you're like pleading to get that person back. An example of what you might say at this stage is, I'll never yell at my sister again. If only I had one more chance to say goodbye. So you're having an ultimatum there and things like that. So DAB, denial, anger, bargaining. The next one is depression, and this is when you really start to feel that loss and the feelings of sadness are coming in. This typically isn't as long as clinical depression, but it can be. And when it lasts as long as clinical depression is when you need that outside help. And then the last one is acceptance. This is when you accept the loss and you're done with the grieving process. You still might think about that person, but you're no longer feeling grief over them. Basically, in this stage, you're moving on with your life and going back to your normal routines. So DABDA, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. This is like a 1-minute funny video that basically explains the 5 stages. Oops. My bad.
Uh-oh. It's no big deal. It's probably not even quicksand. I'm gonna have a good laugh about this tonight with the guys. Well, this is just perfect. Stupid quicksand, stupid jungle. I want to bite someone in the face. Mother. Ah, that stupid jungle. Are you there, God? It's me, Giraffe. Listen, if you would just give me a mulligan on this quicksand thing, I promise, no more peeing on your shorter creatures. What, you get a deal? You know something? I'm cool with this. I bet heaven has all the tender leaves I can eat, and everyone gets their own Slurpee machine. Yeah, take me, sweet death. I await your loving embrace. What? I think I hit the bottom.
So clearly that's just like a funny video, but you can see this was a different situation. It's not dealing with the death of a loved one. However, you can see the stages of grief in that video. Let's review them. D is for denial. You can't believe it happened. A is for anger. This is the emotion of feeling frustrated or mad. B is for bargaining, typically with a higher power. You're making deals to bring them back. D is depression. You're feeling sad. And then A is acceptance. You're coming to terms with the loss. Usually we would do this in class, so I apologize that you have to do it virtually, but this is just how it played out. You are going to do a comic strip writing a story about the 5 stages of grief. Basically, you are saying what someone would do or say at each stage. Now, do not get this from Google and upload it because that's not going to work. You have to find and create your own example. There's 2 examples here just to kind of help you with the activity. This one's serious and this one's funny. D, denial, I still can't believe you're gone. A, anger, I will never forgive her. B, bargaining, I would give anything to see her face. D, depression, I just miss you so much. A, acceptance, at least you're at peace now. And then same thing, funny example, sorry there's no fries left. Denial, that's not possible. I just saw a guy walk out of here with a bag full of fries. Anger, you better hand me those French fries or I'll kick your booty to the moon. B, bargaining, come on, I'm sure you have 1 or 2 left. Let's just say I take what's left and leave, okay? D, depression, I'll never taste the sweet flavor of French fries again, boo. And then acceptance, okay, can I have a hamburger? So you can see how they go through these 5 stages of grief. Now, for your assignment, if I were you, I think it's pretty easy to, I've never done the second option, but I think it's pretty easy to just draw it on a piece of paper, take a picture of the paper with your phone and submit it to Canvas. If you do not want to do that, you can, you have the second option. There's this website, it's called Storyboard Creator, and you can actually make the comic strip here. If you're making it here, once again, make sure you have all 5 stages because it starts off with only 3. I don't know exactly how this website works, but if you can figure it out, then you can use this one as well. It's just a digital way to do it. If you have any questions, as always, just send me an email and hopefully I can help you out. Hopefully it's self-explanatory. Thanks, guys.